I've been raising an army of baby Pokemon. I believe that the tiny ones in the Pokemon world can ascend to greatness, and our mission is to beat Pokemon Scarlet and Violet using only Pokemon that are first stage evolutions. And our tiny ones are everywhere. They lurk in alleys, they hide in tree houses, they emerge from under Hariyamas, they pop out of backpacks, always waiting for an opportunity to prove that first stage evolutions matter in the Pokemon world. And you know what? I'm feeling greedy. I'm not taking one of these starters, I'm taking all of them. Ha 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 ha!
You're only supposed to take one.
Run! Now our actual starter is Sir Quack the Quaxley. It's the only Pokemon we're nicknaming for the baby run because quite frankly, I don't want to become too attached to these mons. I feel like we might lose a lot of them. Oh my, look at all the tiny ones. I must have them all. After catching our fill of Pokemon, we join Sir Quack and the team in Levincia. Our tiny heroes have already smashed through Caddy, Brassius, Klawf, the Bird Titan, and Giacomo. We haven't lost a single Pokemon yet, but we're facing our first real test against Iono's Electrics. Lamette throws rocks at Wattrel, Toadschool slowly but surely wears down Bellibolt with Mega Drains, the pink doggo Snubbull 1v1's Luxio, but Iono's Mismagius is an absolute monster for our tiny ones to face. Even resisted hexes are doing big damage to Sandile. Down to 2 HP, we fight through confusion to land a bite. We try to land one more, but Mismagius outspeeds, and that's our first loss. But there's hope. Hello, old friend. Grassy Surge Grookey finishes off the battle with a Grassy Glide, secure our third gym badge. Against Mella's Fires, we're going with a Gen 1 throwback, Slowpoke to set up the rain, and 2 Surfs wipes out Torkoal. We have plenty of Intimidate Mons available to us to help lower the Starmobile's attack, and Snubbull does the job for us here, giving a chance for Sir Quack to come in and hammer away at the Starmobile with Terra Rain boosted Aqua Cutters. Mela is no match for our team of first stage evolutions. Change that banner up, our babies owned that battle. Ain't no dang way the worm is where this ends. Mankey's low kicks easily dispatch of Earthworm, and I can feel momentum rising for the team. Cuffant, you might join the team at some point, big dog. Just keep doing what you're doing. We're going with a heavily built Grass Squad against Kofu. Cottony starts, and with the Prankster ability, a Priority Charm lowers Veluza's attack. Wattrel swaps in to land a Spark. Oof, pitiful damage, Wattrel. We stay in to try and land another. Wattrel gone. Mashif comes in and is able to avenge Wattrel with a couple bites. The Rockworm Wug Trio almost takes out Sprigatito with a headbutt, but Spriggs hangs in there and gets the knockout with a Seed Bomb. Crabominable is the real terrifying threat here. We go to Shellos, anticipating an incoming water move, but it's a slam. We're forced to go to Mashif for an Intimidate, but it's not enough. After a charm from Cottony, we're finally in a position to fire back. Grassy Glide Grookey delivers the finishing blow for the second time in this run. And despite taking a couple losses, the baby squad is able to push past Kofu. The challenge only gets tougher against Atticus, but we have Terra Ground Nummel. We're going for a focus energy to up our crit chance, and let's rock. It's time to fire off some big hits. Uh-oh. Failed our tiny ones. I didn't prepare enough, and we've already lost so many. But we can't give in. I went to the deepest, darkest corners of the internet in search of the best first stage evolutions out there, because we don't need just babies, we need super babies. Rotom, Girafarig, Sneasel, Dunsparce. Wait, Shiny! Shiny! Not a super baby, but a shiny Mareep is a good omen that we're back on track. These are the kind of super babies that we need as we press on in this journey. We're back to face Atticus, and we're leading with Litten to get an Intimidate on Skuntank. And it pays off, as after some maneuvering, Jangmo O is able to set up with a couple Dragon Dances and wipes out the Skunk with Bulldozes. Another Bulldoze does big damage to Muck, but the incoming Sludge Wave is too much for our baby dragon. Varoom finishes off Muck, but is immediately beaten back by Reveroom. Time for Rotom to enter battle, and sitting at 30 HP, we're risking it. Rotom with a huge live, a Shockwave ends Reverum, and it's just the Starmobile. And after a couple intimidates from Litten, Bronzor is free to set up with Calm Minds, Extra Sensory, goodbye! We are so back. Feeling fierce and feeling like Larry doesn't have a chance. Litten and Grookey tag team to take out Kamala. Dunsparce doesn't have a single move that can hurt Rotom, so he keeps going for Glare. And a Terrasilize Shockwave is more than enough for the finish. Mischievous has Power Gem to deal with Staraptor, and it's a clean W for the babies. We've built up momentum for one of our toughest battles yet, Nemona and her Skeleturge. An Intimidate and a parting shot from Litten against Lycanroc, and 2 Grassy Glides from Grookey are enough to beat back the doggo. Porygon shoots Shiny Stars at Goomy for a KO, and Rotom hexes away Pommo. We're able to land a massive Volt Switch on Skeleturge. It's up to Mischievous to deal with the Croc. Time for a Power Gem. A huge loss. Mischievous, one of our best Pokemon available to us, down. It's up to Sir Quack. Quack does it again. Great work from the squad. Well, hello, fellow tiny one. I wonder if it's okay. You wonder if what's okay. Where are your parents? Or are you lost? Why are you walking like that? Like you're hitting an invisible wall. Ah, teleporting! Demon Child! Demon Child! Holy crap, get me out of Medali! Now, I do believe that our team has the necessary heart for a double battle with Rhyme, and we have 2 long-lost twins from different areas of the Pokemon world to lead us. The Growlithe. Double Intimidate lands from Cantonian and Hisuian Growlithe, but even helping hand boosting our damage is pretty underwhelming, and a Banette Sucker Punch takes out our Hisuian Growlithe. But we fight back. A Crunch from our remaining Growlithe and an Ice Beam from Porygon wipes out Mimikyu and Banette. We just need to edge our way past Houndstone and Toxtricity. A Growly Crunch nearly knocks out Houndstone, but Toxtricity responds with a Discharge, nearly taking out Growlithe, but fortunately for us, Rhyme does us a favor KOing her own Houndstone. Porygon connects on an Eerie Impulse to lower Toxtricity's special attack. Stantler swaps in for Growlithe, but our babies are really struggling to do damage. Toxtricity keeps firing off discharges, and we're in trouble. We're YOLOing it with Stantler and trying to hit a Hypnosis. It lands. Massive. That gives us a chance to bring in Girafarig, and a Crunch and an Ice Beam finally finish off Toxtricity. I'm tired of seeing Nemona's smug face with all of her mid-form and fully evolved Pokemon, so let's wipe the floor with her. After getting rid of her Lycanroc, Sliggoo, and Pawmot, her last hope is Skelly. Porygon is whittling it down with Tri-Attacks, but it's a losing battle. We're sacrificing one of our precious tiny ones. When in doubt, go to Sir Quack. A Terra-boosted Aqua Jet is just enough to beat Nemona once more. Now, we may not be the strongest team, but we are the sneakiest. Sir Quack leads for us against Tulip, and we're setting up with a nasty plot. Zen Headbutt doesn't affect Sir Quack, but how? Ha 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 ha! Sir Quack sets up with nasty plots and an agility, and we are looking dangerous. A Night Daze does away with Farigiraf, and the most adorable Shadow Ball animation you'll ever see deletes Gardevoir. A Night Daze for a Spathra, and even Tulip's Florges can't handle Sir Quack. That may have been a bit greasy, but we'll do whatever it takes to bring glory to all the tiny ones. Well done, Zorua. Now, Great Dusk is one of the biggest, baddest Pokemon out there. You might think it would wall my babies, but Cottony with a Grass Fairy typing actually has a fantastic matchup here. And after a Charm, we're able to dispatch of the large tusked beast with Terra Fairy Terra Blasts. Cottony wants a final gym badge, and how can I say no to that face? To be honest, the only threat Grusha has against our babies are Beartic and Sea Titan. If we get through those, we're good. Litten switches in against Beartic. Grusha got one of our babies. We have to go with one of our own icy ones, Sneasel. Big damage on a low kick, but it's not enough. We'll have to survive a second Earthquake. Sneasel lives on 2 HP, and down goes Beartic. Porygon terastallizes to bring down Sea Titan, and despite taking another loss, we have all the gym badges in Paldea. Now, I feel great about the team, but as the challenge level goes up, we have to continue adding to the baby squad. And fortunately for us, Pokemon Legends Arceus released new evolutions for Qwilfish, Basculin, and Sneasel, so we can work those mons onto the team throughout our journey. And Qwilfish is making an immediate impact against Ortega's fairy types, landing an Intimidate on Dashbun, and hits a Fell Stinger to get an attack boost. And Quilly is going for the Terra, a Barb Barrage, no chance for Wigglytuff. We go to Dunsparce against the Starmobile, but I have an Ash Ketchum moment and forget Breaking Swipe doesn't affect fairy types.
Don't you know flying Pokemon are weak against rock types?
A blunder, but it's not fatal. Porygon lands a few Tri-Attacks, and Qwilfish is able to come in with a Barb Barrage to topple Ortega. With new additions to the team, I'm feeling good energy for our battle against Aries fighting types. Murkrow leads with back-to-back Feather Dances to lower Toxicroak's attack. Slowpoke brings rain from the skies with a Rain Dance, and it's time to unleash the fish. Basculin is a bad fish. The Starmobile finally halts Basculin's momentum, so we're flip turning out into Rotom, and we'll rotate between Basculin and Rotom with Volt Switch and Flip Turn to wear down the Starmobile, and finally we can end the battle with a Discharge. After double checking Dondozo's typing, it's not a fairy type, so we're free to Breaking Swipe to lower its attack with Dunsparce, and our little electric bulb can take it out with a Discharge. Dunsparce continues to put in work against Tatsugiri, making it a whole lot less dangerous by landing a Skitter Smack. That gives us the chance to get Porygon in for Terastallized Tri-Attacks. Wow. Sometimes I forget how weak our babies are, but we are persistent. 7,000 Tri-Attacks later, the final Titan is defeated, and we can move on to the Elite Four. And against Rika, we're going with a Gen 8 starter, Grookey. This is the Elite Four, we don't hold back. Grass Terra, Grassy Glide, bang! Nothing on our team really takes a Fire Blast well from Camerupt, but we're trying Basculin. The Fire Blast connects, and a burn cripples Basculin. Fortunately, Camerupt is 4 times weak to water, and a Liquidation still gets the KO. Rotom is able to get past Donphan with a final Hex. We have to be crafty against Dugtrio, an Intimidate from Qwilfish, and back into Rotom, which can't be hit by Earthquake thanks to its Levitate ability, and eventually Quilly can finish off the Gen 1 Mon with Aqua Jets. Clodsire is tough, but we have Grookey. Our tiny one can take the Earthquake pretty well, and a Grassy Glide and a Solar Blade wipes out Clodsire. The babies are here to stay. You just got beaten by a baby monkey. As a fellow tiny one, I feel bad going against Poppy, but we mustn't stop now. Murkrow goes out for us, and a big Feather Dance to lower the large elephant's attack. We get Dunsparce onto the field to get the rain set up for Basculin, and our fish gets the knockout with a Liquidation. Basculin Flip turns out against Magnezone, and Stantler can get the finish with an Earth Power. Hisuian Sneasel takes care of Corviknight with a Brick Break. We're staying in against Bronzong to try and live a Zen Headbutt. They got Sneasel. Basculin Flip turns out for big damage, and Murkrow can avenge Sneasel with a Sucker Punch. We're going with Stantler against Tinkaton. A big Intimidate, but after taking a Play Rough, our faithful deer is in trouble. 2 of our super babies and some of our best Pokemon done. Everyone else is weak. Our last hope is Porygon. Our Discharge does almost no damage, but we get a huge para. We continue to fire away with Discharges, and Tinkaton gets parried 2 straight times. But eventually, Tinkaton breaks through with a Gigaton Hammer, way too much damage. But Tinkaton gets halted by Paralysis again. Another Discharge, we're wearing it down. Unbelievably, Tinkaton gets parried 3 straight times, and Porygon finally ends the battle with a Discharge. The babies live to fight another day. On to Larry. Bronzor weakens Tropius with extra sensories and sets up with a Light Screen and a Reflect. We're pivoting to Qwilfish. A Fell Stinger gives Quilly a +3 attack boost. Staraptor somehow survives a Barb Barrage, but takes itself out with Brave Bird recoil damage. Oricorio barely lives a hit too, but after another Fell Stinger, Qwilfish is sitting at +5 attack. Larry is in big trouble. Hassel doesn't respect our babies, but there's something he doesn't realize. We may have lost Hisuian Sneasel earlier, but our tiny ones are like weeds. When one of them goes down, another one pops right back up in its place. Sneasel from the Johto region leads for the tiny ones, and we have a very special move for Hassel, Triple Axle. One of the most powerful ice moves out there, and with the wide lens attached, we're not missing. One by one, Hassel's Pokemon get beaten back by Sneasel's icy kicks, except for Baxcalibur. I'm not sure if we can take it out in one hit, so we're making the hard choice to sacrifice one of our Intimidate Mons. Quillfish comes in for another Intimidate, and 2 Barb Barrages pushes us past Hassel and onto Champion Gita. Rotom leads for the babies against Espathra. Illumina Crash is gonna hurt. No, it's Zorua! A level 47 Zorua, actually, because I forgot to bring experience candies into the Elite Four.
This guy stinks!
We get off 3 nasty plots, and Gita still hasn't figured out it's Zorua instead of Rotom. We could risk going for an agility, but I'm starting to get worried that she's going to go for something other than Lumina Crash, so we fire off a Shadow Ball. Gita sends out Go-Go's, and Quillfish is an easy counter and takes it out with a couple Barbed Barrages. Rotom's Levitate ability allows it to avoid an Earthquake from Avalugg, and a couple attacks later, the Ice Beast is felled. Rotom hits a massive Volt Switch on King Gambit, but we're going to have to sacrifice someone to get a clean switch into Sneasel. You were the trickiest of them all. Thank you, Zorua. Sneasel boots past Gambit with a low kick, and Rotom shocks Veluza with a Volt Switch, giving us a clean switch into Porygon against Gita's Glamora. We have to lower its special attack, and Porygon is able to tank some hits and land 3 Eerie Impulses. Basculin comes in to deliver the finishing blow, and just like that, we've beaten the Elite Four. I honestly wasn't sure we'd make it this far. Wait, what's happening to my arm? Help! Help! Dunsparce is ready to do big things against Arven. After leading with breaking swipes, we're setting up with coils to raise our attack and defense, and we're passing those stat boosts out to our starter, Sir Quack. All Arven could see was a blur of blue as his Pokemon all got blasted by Sir Quack. Baby Squad 1, Arven 0. Quillfish is not playing games against Clovell, a Fell Stinger against Abomasnow for an attack boost, and after getting a second Fell Stinger boost against Gyarados, Quilly has super effective damage into the rest of Clovell's team, and after a final Barb Barrage against Meowscarada, spiky fish domination. We look great against Penny too. We're down to her final Mon Sylveon without suffering any losses. Porygon lands a couple Eerie Impulses to lower its special attack, and a flip turn from Basculin does big damage and allows us to go for a Volt Switch with Rotom. A crit. We lost one of our best Pokemon, a certified super baby, Rotom gone. We win with a Barb Barrage from Quillfish, but we can't keep losing Mons. Our number of super babies is dwindling as we head towards a matchup with Sada. Our old pal Cottony is back for our final rival battle with Nemona. A couple priority charms leaves Lycanroc toothless, and we can suck the life out of it with Giga Drains. Goodra would be a problem if we didn't have Porygon, but our defensive rock rendered the slimy dragon ineffective with 3 Eerie Impulses, allowing Sneasel to set up with a couple Swords Dances. A triple Axle wipes out Goodra. Pawmot, you can enjoy a triple Axle as well. Earthworm comes out for Nemona, and that's a beefy Pokemon. We're going for a Terra Throat Chop, and hopefully it's enough damage. It is. Down goes Earthworm. The Dunsparce, clearly inferior to its pre-evolution, can't take the hit either, and Nemona has to rely on her Skeleturge. A Torch Song would be the end of Sneasel, but we're faster, and another Throat Chop. Nemona's in shambles. Book your tickets to Area 0. The baby squad is ready for a final showdown with Sada. Murkrow has the honor of leading the babies into battle against Slitherwing. After a Feather Dance to lower the bug's attack, Murkrow sets up a Rain Dance. Acrobatics will do huge damage, so we're staying in to finish Slither. I thought Murkrow could take the hit. I was wrong. Time for Basculin to respond. Terra Water, Flip Turn, but Slitherwing lives. Fortunately, Quillfish can come in and finish with an Aqua Jet, but not a great start. We're staying in with Quillfish against Brute Bonnet. A Barb Barrage, oh so close to getting the finish, but Quilly is sitting at 80 HP and is going to have to live an Earth Power. An absolutely massive stand from Quillfish, an Aqua Jet, make it 2 KOs for Billy. We have to swap out to Porygon against Sandy Shocks, and after tanking Earth Powers, Pori lowers its special attack with Fury Impulses. Sitting at 33 HP, I'm risking another hit to set up a Rain Dance. A crit at the worst possible time, the end of the greatest Porygon that ever roamed Paldea. With our numbers dwindling, we're pivoting to Sneasel. A Swords Dance, it's time for vengeance. No, another crit. Our tiny ones are dropping like flies. Dunsparce takes the field for the babies, and after weakening Sandy Shocks with an Ice Spinner, we're able to set up with a Rain Dance. Into the little fish that could, Basculin. This time we don't get crit. One liquidation, Shocks is finished. Fluttermane is fast, but with a Choice Scarf on Basculin, we're faster. Goodbye. Screamtail somehow lives a liquidation and fires back with a Play Rough. That hurt, but one more liquidation does the job. Sada turns to her Roaring Moon, and we're choiced into liquidation. It won't be enough to get the KO. We have to switch out. We go to Quillfish, and just like that, we've lost another one. Dunsparce comes in to land breaking swipes, but Roaring Moon hangs in and takes out our beloved Dunsparce with a Dragon Claw. It's all up to Basculin now, the last of the Super Babies. But we have one last trick up our sleeve. Last Respects gains power from every fainted Pokemon, and with an army of babies behind us, Basculin delivers the finishing blow. The babies have done it. All of Paldea defeated by our tiny heroes, showing that first evolutions still matter in the Pokemon world. Thanks to all of our fallen, and I'll see you on the next one.
Ginga!